Alright guys, hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Freak. I got another Marvel shirt on. But that doesn't matter. Today, I'm here to talk about... today is the beginning of Season 3 of Arrowverse Recaps. And hey, I'm a senior, and I'll explain... I'll be more excited next week. But, yeah. So, if you guys don't know already, if you guys want all the recaps, one video, here you go. It's not going to be the best recaps, but it's at least going to be a little bit of a recap so you can be refreshed for the next episode so you can see where all the characters are at. And yeah, so, today we got Batwoman, Supergirl, and The Flash first episodes today. So yeah, Batwoman is a new show, and this was episode 1, so it's a pilot. The threat in this episode is Alice, and the missions are get Sophie and get to Jacob. We start off with Ruby Rose or Kate Kane doing an intro. Trust me, this is the story I would not like to be telling, and it's all of her swimming in at the Arctic or whatever. And while she's swimming, she gets crisis flashbacks. Not Crisis on Infinite Earths, but crisis flashbacks to when her sister or friend died and her mom died. Yeah. And I'll get into that a little bit more. What? Thought he didn't care. What? Oh, the city thinks that Batman doesn't care, and so they're going to be turning off the signal and being like, we don't need Superman anymore because we got Crow, which they probably explained to what Crow means in the first episode, but I don't know what it means because I'm stupid and don't remember things. Kate was training all those 13 years to become a Crow. But then the rally that was going on got attacked by Alice, and Sophie's taken by rabbits. Kate and Sophie have a little bit of love. There's like some love flashbacks when they were in the military. Kate. Now we're back to present time. She's sneaking in, and Kate sneaks into Wayne Tower, and then she's getting memories of that necklace. That's a thing we don't touch, but then she touches later in the episode. Kate and Sophie got expelled from the military, but only Kate was Kate was thinking that they were going to run away together, but Sophie's like, I'm not. Bye. And then, yeah. And then now we're actually... Okay, so, fun fact, Bruce Wayne is born a day after me. Fun fact. What? When I heard that, I was like, gotta write that down. Kate goes home. Don't know what that means. She goes home, and then there's a surprise party there. That's what that means. Alright, so the kidnappers of Sophie are at an orphanage that Kate Kane used to grow up at. Alice knows Kate. Alice wants to take Jacob's power by not using Kate, but by using Sophie, because Sophie is somehow bigger, brighter, and connected to Jacob. And Jacob is Kate Kane's dad, by the way, and won't let her into Crow. Crow get to the orphanage, and there's nothing there, even Kate Kane. Kate Kane is getting healed by her sister, her sister Mary I don't remember her name. But then there's a family fight where Jacob and Kate Kane are just fighting about stuff. And then Martha's necklace is the key to the Batcave. And then Kate Kane gets down the elevator, gets down to the Batcave, and she explores it. Bruce has been trying to figure out what happened that day of when they died. Okay, so a bus ran into the back of them, and they swerved off of a bridge. Of course, it had to be a bridge. And Batman did save Kate Kane, but then the bad guy apparently was getting away. So Batman went to go stop the bad guy, but he thought he had the whole car system rail thing good, but then it didn't, and so then, yeah. So Batman's trying to figure out what happened. And the hijacked bus was hijacked by Batman. And she gets all this information from Luke Cage. Not Luke Cage. Luke. I don't know his last name. Okay. Movie in the park, and there's movie in the park, and they're all like protecting him because we don't want any bad guys or Alice getting in. But Dawson, which is also a cop, is also an inside man, so that's how she knew about that building. Forget-me-nots in the truck, and I don't really know what that is, but Sophie and the offer that Alice gives is, do you save Sophie or Gotham? And so yeah, Kate to the rescue. Sophie is saved, and then a podcast about Batman is back. Sophie and Kate reconnection. But then Sophie's like, this is my husband, Tyler. And so, yeah. And then there's a family reconnection where he's like, I don't want you because you're the last thing I got, Kate. And, yeah. And that whole monologue, like, every time she's monologuing, she's writing to Bruce, which is kind of cool. And so, during that fight, Alice throws a knife and Batwoman takes it and then sees that it was a ruby from the past, which was Beth's. And so Alice is Beth. Not a spoiler, but it is a spoiler in a way. But yeah. Alright, so the quote is, I'm Alice. How do you do? Kunk. And I would have wrote down a board because it looks like a lot of people got hit by a board this episode. Alright, now we're on to Supergirl, episode 1, otherwise entitled Event Horizon. So, the threat of this episode is a shapeshifter, which later we find out that is John Jones' brother, and Midnight. The missions, the DEO is to find Midnight. Kara's missions are to accept a reward and tell Lena your secret, because she hasn't done that over this whole summer break. So bad bus driver. So Lena is doing a VR simulation of Kara being a superhero and saving a bunch of little kids with a bad bus driver. But that's the start of the episode. We don't even know what's a simulation yet. But then we go to a coffee shop later in the episode, and it's Obsidian Tech, which is all of the stuff, and the Obsidian Tech is moving into the Catco building. Trusts tech, not humans. I don't know what I went there. Then there was like a cool little tech intro. Tech intro. I don't remember that tech intro, but yeah. Obsidian North is a VR simulation. John teaches Tai Chi. John has a Tai Chi class. I already said that Kara didn't tell Lena. Brainy and Nia fight about who's the best movie villain. I don't remember which two they had, but leave a comment down below if you got who you guys think is the best villain. There was an awkward goodbye between them. Audra meets Kara, and Audra has bought Catco. And Lena and Kara talk about something, and then there's a shapeshifter that looks like a child, and then all these childs are at like a museum or on a field trip, and then this one kid goes up to a dinosaur and is like, ooh. Well, my T-Rex, by the way. But yeah, whatever. Alright. So, John hurt by the shifter, Kryptonian energy for a bomb. Kryptonian engine. So there was a Kryptonian ship there, and so the shapeshifter turned into the ship and flew away. Don't know how he got the engine, but he probably grabbed it on his way out. But Lena and Adna talk, and it's like, you were supposed to come in a week from now. What are you doing here? And yeah. The shifter brought something, and that something is Midnight. Writers meeting. Adna is having a meeting with all the writers from Catco, and it's like, haha, hey, new contracts for everyone. Now you all work for me. Sad nigga hours. Don't get mad at me, please. It's a TikTok thing, please. New contracts. Phantom projector. Okay, so they used the Kryptonian energy for a phantom projector, not a bomb. And then Midnight is here, and then it was a trap. Midnight is fueled by death. And so, yeah. James and Kelly talk about stuff. I don't remember what they talked about, but they talk about stuff. William Day in Catco. William rewrote everything in Kara's paper. And so then Kara takes a stand and is like, I'm not going to let this fool rewrite everything. And then, so Brainy has been, okay, so backing up a little bit. So during the fight against the dinosaur, Kara's cape rips. And so then Brainy has been making a whole new suit this whole time. So I guess that's a big mission for Brainy, make Kara's new suit. And then he goes like, your new suit, it's so tiny. And then he puts it on her glasses, and then now that when she takes her glasses off, like in a harsh fashion or whatever, her suit will materialize. And then Kara finally tells Lena, and then Lena has a speech about her best friend in the world, and she doesn't go mad or anything, but then she's still mad at the end of the episode. Yeah. So Midnight appears at the award ceremony, and then Midnight opens up a black hole. John gets sucked into the black hole, and yeah, Kara goes up and saves John, and then then they close the black hole with the phantom projector. And then they also stopped Midnight. I was hoping Midnight would have been like a couple episode big bad, but no. And then the shifter was watching all of that. James talks to Adna about leaving the company because James is going to be leaving the show. I don't know if you've seen my couple videos ago where I talk about me wanting to see how he leaves the show. Brainy and Nia talk about their relationship. The shifter is at John's place, and then we realize it's his brother. And then John is like, I never had a brother. And yeah. Kara gives Lena an emergency button in case she ever needs him. And then the last thing, Eve is taken By who? We don't know. But Eve also looks like she's been a waiter for a place for a long while, and just gets taken. So the quote of the episode is Alex saying, "You're not terrible. You're just scared." All right, now we're on to the Flash episode 1, Into the Void. The missions is for Team Flash, the black clothes, stop the black holes. Ralph's mission is to help Caitlin / Killer Frost, and then Barry and Iris is get over Nard's death. And so the threat is also Chester, and I'll explain why. Power surge in the building, which destroys the message, which destroys Nora's message. And also, this was a direct pickup, and so, yeah. 4 months later, Barry is running with Godspeed, but we figure out that it's the fourth Godspeed that won't speak. Then after that, they go to a Team Flash cookout, which we get where Ralph is. Ralph is on a missing persons case, and somewhere, we don't exactly know where he ended up, but yeah. And so, Cisco has been working on the MAC, which is a mental augmentation center, which comes important to the episode later. So people start to leave, and so Iris is like, "What did you do with the suit? What did you do with the purple box? And what's inside that purple box, you may ask? It's Excess's suit." And yeah, but before that, Barry is forcing Mac on Cisco. I don't know why. I still don't understand why he's trying to force it onto him. I guess he wants to just find Godspeed, I guess. I don't know. But the mental augmentation center is basically speed thinking. Killer Frost or Caitlin is going to a funeral. Cisco is going to get more beer, and Barry is going to an emergency that was somewhere. And yeah, okay. So later that day, Iris is there trying to grab a box, but then a black hole appears out of nowhere. And yeah, Killer Frost comes out when she's at the funeral from an old friend. So Ralph is back. And he's like, James Bond status. And then they tell him. Caitlin goes to coffee with Ramsey, which is the friend that she went to the funeral for. And so Ramsey thinks he has failed his mom, but he also lied at the funeral because he tried to help his mom. His mom wanted to die. His mom didn't want to go out with action. And so he has created cure, which is a dark matter cure for white blood cells. And Caitlin doesn't want to do this, and that's the only reason why he wanted Caitlin to have a coffee with her, because he's like, you are going to give me this dark matter so I can complete my cure. But then he buys a gun from someone which has dark matter in it, and so that he gets the dark matter at the end. But then he gets up, leaves because he's pissed off at Caitlin, and then a black hole appears at Jitters. Frost won't come out, and Barry saves her, and then Ralph is like, "You're afraid of living, Frost." Frost is afraid of living. But then they figure out that Chester P. Runk is a live streamer, and he was working on something. He was working on some junk in a Jitters cup. See, connections. Junk from Junkyard. CC Jitters from CC Jitters. And then he activated the machine. The machine wasn't working right, so then he touched it, and then so he made the black holes appear. Yeah, he made the black holes by accident. But they made a shelter grenade to destroy the black holes. But if they destroy the black holes, they're also destroying Chester because his mind is in the black hole. And so if they destroy the black hole, they destroy Chester. So what they thought was if we have to have something from the future. Nara's gauntlet morphed into the suit, and so then he runs. So what their plan was that it was Barry to run into the black hole, grab his brain, come back out, and put the mind back into him. But meanwhile, that could have killed him. So they decided to put him in the Mac, which now he has to stay in there for about 4 to 8 weeks. And so, to 4 to 8 episodes, we're not gonna see the Mac come into play. But yeah, now Flash has a new suit. With that, when they put the future tech in there, the suit is finished. No more black hole. Chester's back. Stabilize in there for that. And then Cisco has a date to get to. Caitlin talks to Frost and is like, Frost, you take the wheel. And now Caitlin is Frost. Now Frost is out in full. Book of Ralph Volume 2. Be like, this is how you be a normal person, Frost. And Killer's not a really good name. Whatever. So Ramsey uses the cure for himself. Barry also grabbed the suit when he was in there and put it on a memorial stand. And then the Monitor shows up, or no, he shows Iris that. The Monitor shows up and is like, hey, you're going to vanish on your crossover episode, boy. Yeah. And the quote is, Ralph, my name is Ralph. No, my name is... Start over. My name is Dibney. Ralph Dibney. See? 007. Alright, guys. Hope you guys liked this episode. If you guys did, please leave a big like down below. And if you guys haven't already, please subscribe. Come back next Thursday with the final season of Arrow and all these other episodes. And yeah, biggest crossovers happening my last year of school. Heck yeah.